Hey guys, Ed Diaz here with Movement Mortgage, and guess what? I'm with Jonathan. If you don't know who Jonathan is, you need to know who he is. Jonathan is a long-time real estate pro, just an absolute ninja here in San Francisco with Zephyr. So welcome, man. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me, Ed.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Well, here we are, September 2017. Gosh, this year, I don't know about you, man, but this has been the bullet train year.
It
And what I
has.
mean by that, it's just gone so fast. So much has happened. We all know in real estate, especially, it seems like the waters are moving very quick. So let's jump off. First, tell me, when did you get into real estate, and why, and how?
So I come from a real estate family. My grandmother, she's one of the first African American realtors in the Bay Area. Bought, sold property in
Wow.
the Lower Haight all throughout the Western Addition
What
in
what
San
year are we
Francisco.
talking about, Johnny?
Oh, this is like the late 50s, early 60s.
Late 50s and early 60s. His
And
grandma.
to show you how much times have changed, my sisters and I, we talk about it. She used to get loans. People would walk. She was a lender as well.
Oh,
People would walk into her office. She would have a 10-minute conversation with them to determine whether or not she was going to loan them money or not.
So
Talk
she would
about-
like right on the spot.
You would talk
Oh,
about a
wow.
streamlined lending process. I mean, she.
Yeah, it's a little bit more
It's
complicated
a little
today,
bit,
everybody.
a little bit more complicated.
With like a ream of paper like this.
Exactly. So my sister and my brother and I, we all grew up having to work at the real estate office as children, sweeping up. She used to do her mortgage papers on a little sheet that we would have to fill out with the principal, the interest payment,
Wow.
and everything. And we would do our own amortized mortgage right there on a piece of paper that would, she'd have a book in the office, we'd fill it out, send it back to her clients. This is stuff that we would do as teenagers and middle school kids, just to learn about the process. So
That is so awesome.
It's always been in my blood and in our history. And my sisters and I, my brother, we all, like I say, engaged in the process. So it was always an interest.
What year did you actually get your license?
Got my license in 1992.
92.
Graduated from college, USF, and my grandmother said, "Well, all you gotta do is take the test once you get your BA." And
So she had it all planned
Yeah,
out for you, man.
totally.
You're going
Yeah, that
from
was
college, you're going into real estate. It's just what's going to happen according to grandma.
Exactly.
I love
Everyone. It's good to have a matriarch in the family, right? To
Yeah,
guide
especially
us.
one like that.
Exactly.
Talk about
So,
setting the pace, but especially back then. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, look at that. You know, she's African American. She's a woman. It's 1950s, and it's real estate. Woo.
Yeah, she's amazing person.
Amazing person.
A lot of folks in Western Addition and the western half of San Francisco know a lot about her in terms of the history.
I
Talk
bet.
a lot of the older folks who were around during the time when redevelopment agency was changing the Western Addition. My grandmother was there for loans to help people buy stuff, help them
That's incredible.
to get into something better room when their homes has got into place. So.
Wow. Well, let's get right at it, man.
Sure.
You know, we always in real estate, we're always talking about the property. We're talking about the physical, actual properties, or we're talking about mortgages and the paperwork and what we think prices are. But the one thing that I think a lot of times is missing is talking about the human side of buying property. Now, if you are an investor, and correct me if I'm wrong, really what you care about is the numbers. So you just kind of look at the paper, you look at either what your cap rates are or what your GRMs or your gross rent multipliers are. You look at those numbers, and that's pretty much how you make your decision. You don't really care about the color of the carpet or the color of the walls. You're looking at it purely from a financial point. But when you are buying a property you're going to live in, that's a whole different ballgame, because it's going to involve lifestyle decisions. It's going to involve a little bit more or a lot more emotion. It's going to be a place where you're actually going to be living in. So what are your thoughts around that?
Well, what we're talking about are these heartfelt aha moments. And for those of you who've maybe been out house hunting, or you've been accompanied somebody who's buying or selling their home, people walk into a home that they feel, and there's this aha moment. I found this home. In real estate, and particularly in Northern California, it is so competitive. There are so many decisions that you have to make at a mile a minute. And
Yeah.
one of the things that helps to make those decisions easier is what to know your values are. You need to know why you're engaging in this process to begin with.
That's a
What's
great,
the most
great
important thing to you as you buy your home, or even as you sell your home? Because it's different for different people. And you're going to have that uneasy feeling if you're not clear on what this process is. The other reason is it's so competitive. There's so many decisions that you have to make. You're gonna have to make cost. You have to do cost basis, cost analysis decisions. Some things you're gonna have to give up in one home that you would like in another. And if your values aren't clear on why you're doing it, maybe light is the most important thing to you when you're looking to buy a home, and you don't. And if you're not clear on that, you might end up buying something or engaging in putting a bid on something that you just feel uneasy about, and you're not exactly sure why.
Buyer's remorse.
Exactly. So, or you may lose out on something because you couldn't pull the trigger on something in terms of making the decision that actually this is the one that fits your values. So what I like to do with all of my clients or anyone who's engaging in this process is just to have that conversation. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I got to tell you, because I don't see a lot of agents doing that. They get, again, so caught up with just, what kind of property, how many bedrooms and stuff, but they don't talk about the grassroots, right? The whys, and I think like a lot of times buying a house is almost like picking a career, man. I mean, if you don't anchor it to your why, chances are it's not going to last. Chances are you're going to have buyer's remorse when it comes to a property. You're going to already be thinking about buying the next one. And by the way, this one cost you a lot of money, and it's the process is sometimes a bit arduous because we're living in times of regulation still, right? There's a lot to get on the mortgage side, and on the other side is you got to have some emotional fortitude. I've always said this, that EQ beats IQ all the time, or anytime. How are your emotions, your emotional quotient? When you go into real estate, it's important that you're anchored to your why, but at the same time that you have some emotional fortitude, because, like he said, the waters are running really, really quick. How many offers would you say on average, especially in like San Francisco, do you see per property on average, right? And every property is different, but
5 on average, 5. Particularly if it's if there is a home that you like as a buyer, if you walk into a home and you see it and you like it, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 other people there that have that same emotional connection to it.
That's true.
This is kind of sacrilege, and as a realtor, I'm supposed to say I can get you a deal. There are deals to get out there. Everybody knows everything about real estate in the Bay Area, and there are no deals out there. If there was a deal, a realtor or somebody else is going to buy it. If we're going to be completely honest.
Or one of your investors.
Or one of the investors are going to buy it. And so if you are somebody who's out there hunting, the best thing that you can arm yourself with are clear values. Is this the property that's going to fulfill what I'm looking for engaging in this process? If I'm buying a property because I want security, I'm tired of renting up a home, I'm tired of relying on other people determining where I'm going to live and how I'm going to live. Some people want to engage in this process because of the freedom of owning a home. It's going to be clear if you can see the home that meets all those requirements, that gets you the freedom. You're going to be able to pull a decision and put something together in a timely manner that gives you the best shot.
I love that. So here are my takeaways. My takeaways, number one is, just be honest with yourself. Just be transparent, be honest with yourself. Don't compromise. Look, you're the one who's going to be turning that key for many, many years in the front door. You're the one who's going to be living there. Second part, and I think, this goes without saying, is be realistic too. Look, you're not always going to check every single box, right? I think people are unrealistic, right? I mean, we see this all the time. It's like, life isn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I look at properties that I actually like it when I can't check all the boxes. I'll tell you why, because then I get a chance to make it my own. So I'll create my own little box around that. I'll tell you a little story. The last home that I bought, I literally walked in, I kid you not, I walked in and I stood there, and the agent's over here on my left side, and I said, when can I make an offer? I didn't even go see all the bedrooms or anything else. There was this feel. There's a feel that I require. There has to be a certain type of energy. And by the way, I need to feel creative. That's kind of my number one box, is I need to feel creative when I walk into a space. Because the house can be beautiful, but if I don't feel creative in it, it doesn't matter, because it has to feel creative to me, not to the rest of the people. So this is where I talk about, just be honest with yourself, be honest with your agent, be honest with me too, right? If I'm going to be your lender, because guess what? This process is going to be so much easier. You're going to talk about how smooth and how awesome it went, and you're going to want to invite everybody you know to this house, because guess what? You're proud of it. Any parting words?
These are personal decisions.
They are personal decisions.
They're very personal decisions. So what works for somebody else may not work for you. And I will tell you, if you're buying it with a partner or a group of people, these are the conversations that will make or break the group. So yeah, you definitely all want to be on the same page, have the same values.
I love it. I love it. So how can they get a hold of you?
Jonathan Dearman, Dearman at DearmanRealty.com. That's my website address. And
how about a phone number?
415-244-8694.
Sounds good. My next video, by the way, guys, and just be on the lookout for it. We're going to talk about, I'm going to do it with this man. We're going to talk about what are called pocket or private listings. I think a lot of people don't know about them, and we're starting to see them more and more. So catch us next time. Have a great day.